Now, if the spouse, the husband, should carry the cross of not sending the wife who is obviously withholding sexual intimacy from him, just pray to the Lord, he will come to you. Can we say that the wife should also carry the cross of being physically beaten? She's not feeling safe anymore if the husband starts bullying her.
I frankly wouldn't say you should leave the house because your husband slapped you once, twice, 10 times.
This is 2 years now. My picture was for 2 years, you're not sleeping with your spouse. So possibly if he's beating you consistently for 2 years, you're not feeling safe now.
And likely, those are some of the things that lead to these beatings. They don't tell. Yes, go on.
My question is, so it is advisable for us to also tell the female folks, carry your cross?
Female folk, I agree with you.
Okay.
It, again, where they talk about leaving the house is if you feel that your life is at risk, that he might actually kill you, harm
That
you
his life
seriously. I know he's likely to commit adultery
and go to hellfire.
Yes, terrible. I agree with you, but with the woman, the talk about leaving, I distinguish between, and I'm saying this at risk to my reputation, but I'm not of the mindset, oh, once he raises his hand and touches you, it's, again, these are modern expectations. It might be stranger that you're withholding your body from your husband, but again, in your mind, that you can get away with that. There's this terrible double standard. It's really terrible. It's really bad. You know, I do not speak to those who operate on a double standard. Do not say it's okay for a man to be deprived sexually and for a woman to be at the same time treated like a queen. Don't be. It's really ridiculous. It's very annoying to think of what's wrong with you to think that's okay. I was watching a video where the woman, I don't think it's a Christian thing, but very briefly I saw a little thing, a trad wife, a white woman, maybe in the UK, and she was talking about how she used to torment her husband in this way, and then she started crying. Her husband wasn't there. She's not talking about Christianity because she's talking about boyfriends and girlfriends sleeping together and how the woman didn't used to hold back. Then from the moment they marry, and she was talking to fellow women and saying, you know how it is, you know how it was before you got married. Then you do this and just to control, to demand things till she said, let's go for counseling, let's go. Her husband. So a lot of women do this to make their husband almost seem like puppy dogs, begging, please, please. And it's actually a means of control, do this. It's very devilish.
And it's a cross demand.
It's very devilish. Yes, and I'm saying that if you're in such a situation, your wife is like that, it's your cross, carry it.
And my point is, if the woman is being beaten, can we just agree that she should carry her cross?
I've made the point clear. You should carry crosses in marriage. Sometimes your problems won't disappear in a day or 2 or 5. It may be years, 5 years, 10 years before your spouse changes. I tried to make that point in an earlier interview. We have to stop acting as though marriage is the one place where you are not to suffer and endure things. In the marriage guide, I spoke about how marriage is a mission field. I gave a few stories of people that went into the mission field. Some even died in it. And everybody understands, oh, what a wonderful person Mary Slaser was. Oh, what an awesome person Livingston was. What great achievements Amy Carmichael carried out. Oh, this is so sweet of Hudson Taylor. Everybody understands that. Oh, it's for the gospel. People refuse to understand that their marriage is a mission too, and that it's something mandated by God too. They act like, no, if there's any trouble in marriage, end it. Could you say to a missionary, if there's any trouble where you're doing outreach to, end it immediately? I'm a pastor. Could it be from the moment you have complaints from anyone relating to the ministry, I should have ended the ministry? All the people that were saved, like today in the meeting, all the wonderful help that God touched people with, it wouldn't happen because I'm sad, I'm unhappy with things. So we can bring breakthrough. And I spoke about how some of the best servants of God came from difficult marriages. male and female, wonderful people. God used greatly. You know, the founder of Foursquare Church was a woman, Amy Semple McPherson. Her first husband died. Her second husband left her after a while, said the pressures of marriage was too much. She didn't get remarried. Look at Foursquare Church all over the world. A woman started that in obedience to God. She literally left her husband to go and start it, and wrote him a note that he can join her. He joined her after a long time, came, got baptized in the Holy Spirit, changed, but later on he left her. You know, Catherine Kuhlman, many have heard of her, you know, and she was used in healing a lot. She was an evangelist doing things, but married wrongly, a divorcee, and broke it up and lived single for the rest of her life. Out of the pain of a life sacrificed, many wonderful things have always happened. It is a major reason why, and there's someone, I'm speaking to our audience now, you might wonder and say, God, why would you allow me go through, why would you let anyone go through such pain in marriage? And my answer to you would be, because it's not one crucible that God uses to shape people. God uses different means, including troubles in the home. God allows that to shape you. People have gone through great sickness, come out of it and become wonderful servants of God. People have gone through war, physical, the army, and been shaped in a physical earthly army and come out to serve the Lord. People have gone through poverty and come out to be used by God. Marriage is one of those fields, remember, one of those avenues where God can train you and shape you and use you and do great things. So instead of seeing all pain in marriage as something never to be condoned, you're supposed to allow that pain to be converted to make you a better person, make you a loving. But the challenges I've had in marriage, and my wife may have had, has made us better people. Challenges I had have given me a very great capacity to endure pastoring duties. Pastoral duties have been enabled. Things I wouldn't take from people. Many times I would have said, no, this is too much. Then I heard in my mind, but you endured it with your wife. I can't count the number of times that I have been loving to people due to my experiences in marriage. I could have had excuses to give my wife hell too and done all of that in years past, but I didn't. And I look back at the same thing that was so painful, and I'm grateful for it. The periods, the seasons of challenges, you know, and there are still challenges in every marriage, but it's so much. I mean, you can look back and say, thank God, seasons have passed, come and gone. So I want you to understand that God does use our marriage to shape us for ministry too, for purpose, for intention. And we shouldn't act as though he can't or it's wrong, because it's fully a God thing also.